Welcome back to Arc Tutorials. This is Angular 14 full tutorial series for absolute beginners. Today we are going to learn about modules in Angular. What are modules? What are some of the built-in modules? What is an ng module? What are its components? And what is an app module? How to generate custom module and much more. Let's get started. This is part 10 of the Angular 14 series. Before we get started, I'll request you, if you have any doubts, if you need job support, technical help, training, reach out to me at surya.aradhya@gmail.com. If you like my work and tutorials, please do consider buying me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/arctutorials. This is the current playlist that we have. We have covered 9 episodes so far in the series. All of that are required for you to start working from this episode, which means the first top 9 episodes will help you cover the basic fundamentals, help you set up the local environment, help you set up the local UI framework, either bootstrap or material, whichever you prefer, and so on and so forth. So make sure that you have gone through all the previous episodes in order to start this episode. That would help you much better. Alright, so let's talk about Angular 14 modules. What are modules in Angular? Right. So Angular framework itself is built on our modular concept, right? And modular concept means that it's a container basically of block of code that is dedicated to an application domain, workflow, or closely related capabilities. Modules contain components, services, um, directives, etc., and other code whichever is required for that particular module. Okay, so this is the definition, theoretical, technical definition, but I'll make it easy for you. Think of it this way with an example I'll show you. Now, think of it this way that let me open the notes that we are writing and we can continue in that. Um, just give me 1 second. Okay. Alright, so this is the notes, episode number 10, and we are learning about modules. Okay. Now think of it this way with an explanation that let's say you're building a simple to-do management, right? To-do list, task manager. Now you will need multiple functionality or features in this. You will require tasks, you'll require calendar, you will require users, you will require authentication, right? And say profile and settings. Let's say a basic app, right, will require these things, these features. Now think of these things, all the things related to tasks. Let's say add task, right? And then you have edit task, you have delete task, and you have read task or list tasks, etc., right? All these will be grouped under tasks. Similarly for calendar, we can say show calendar, we can have show week, month, etc., right? Think of it that way. Users, we can say set password or update profile, read profile. So these are all different features or functionality inside each of that, right? So this grouping, right, this grouping under a logical section, right, all this will be grouped under tasks. So your task becomes one module. Similarly, calendar becomes one module. So each of this top level where you're grouping a certain functionality or certain features becomes your module. Why modules? For obvious reasons that it's easy to categorize and maintain the code, right? Easy to maintain, and in a long run easy to maintain, easy to extend, and logical grouping, right? Logical grouping means everything related to tasks is inside the task module, right? Everything related to calendar will be inside the calendar module, and so on and so forth. So now I hope it's clear what is a module in Angular context. We create lot of modules. The basic Angular application will require just one module. Okay, just one. That's the basic app. But most likely in big enterprise applications, you will require multiple modules like these: task, calendar, user, profile, settings, authentication, search, much more. Okay. Now you know what is a module, what is an example of a module. Now you should be able to explain it to anybody what is a module after this. So once again, in short, Module is nothing but logical grouping of functions and features that belong to that particular feature or module. Okay, that's the definition of module. Now, why modules are important? Because it's easy to maintain, easy to extend, logical grouping. Also, for important reasons like, for example, I'll continue using this example. Let's say tomorrow you introduce a plan and say paid features, right? You want to introduce two features and say free version and paid version of the same to-do list manager. And you are saying that in free you can get only tasks, users, etc., right? Settings and profile. But in paid version you will get calendar also. Okay, in along with all this, what you're trying to do here is you're separating out modules, right? Which module to include, which module to not to include. So this you can easily achieve by modules. That means we can categorize and say which modules to include or not include, right? That can be easily managed, and that's a very big feature, as we will learn when we start programming. You will see that why this is a very such an important concept. Okay, so these are the features of why modules are important. Okay, I hope that basic fundamentals are clear to you. Now we will talk about app module and how to generate custom modules. Okay, take a close look. In your folder structure you would already have one app module.ts file by default. Okay, by default every Angular application will have a app module. By default there is one module always in Angular. Minimum is one. Okay, that is app module.ts. If you open this you would see something similar, that it uses ng module, right? So everything in Angular is defined via ng module. Okay, that is what we are declaring here. If you see, every module is nothing but a modular approach of ng module. We're extending that decorator. Okay, ng module, and these are all the definitions or the declarations. Now inside declarations, these are all the different this decorator will take all these variables or params, you can say. It has bootstrap, it has providers, it has imports, and it has declarations. Remember, in the declarations of the module we define all the components. Okay, all the components. Inside the imports we define all the other modules which we want to reuse. Okay, so that's another important use case that you should remember. Modules can be reused inside other modules. Okay, like for example, if you see the app module, here we are saying for this module, which is called app module, to work we will require all these other modules. It has a dependency. Okay, so that is what it is called. Now I said one module is definitely required in Angular application, that is app module. Okay, now we can generate any number of modules inside the Angular application. Okay, now for that we have seen that in Angular CLI tutorial. How do you generate? Now let's say I'll take this example and we will build this example as part of our learning. Task, calendar, users, settings, profile, etc. We'll try and achieve as much as we can. Okay, so for that, now the command that you'll run is ng generate or ngg. Generate is also fine. Shortcut ngg generate a module. And what is the name of the module? Tasks. We are saying Angular generate a new module, and the name of the module is tasks. So it has generated. Now you can see here there is a new folder which says task.module.ts. Again, it's the just shell, there is nothing inside it yet, but this is a basic module that we will create. Now similarly we will create multiple, let's say users, we will say profile or settings, right? Task, user, settings, and you can say profile. Okay, so you see here for each module it is generating a folder and it is adding a module file, just empty module for now. What will the module contain? It will contain components, pipes, filters, everything that is related to this particular feature. Okay, so this is how you generate the modules. Okay, now let's revise once again. What are modules? Modules are the base. All Angular applications are modular by nature. That means it has its own modularity system, which is called ng module. Using ng module, we can expand and group together different cohesive blocks of code or features or functionality together related to a certain module or a functionality. Importance of modules: we know that they are easy to maintain, easy to extend, logical grouping, and we can decide which modules to include, which not. We can do a lot of things like lazy loading, etc. We will cover that later. Modules can be reused inside other modules, right? Can be injected. Now, every Angular application will have at least one module, and its name is app module. If you see, it uses ng module, and all the modules that we generated, custom modules, using the command ng generate module, will generate a new folder and a file with a basic module requirement and a decorator ng module. Alright, it will have a name. That's all it is. You're exporting this entire decorator as a profile module. Here you're exporting it as a settings module. Here you're exporting it as a tasks module. Alright, that's all you should know about at this point of time about modules. That's the basic introduction. That's the basic knowledge you should have to start working. I hope at the end of this tutorial now you know what is a module, you know the importance of module, you know what is an app module, and you know how to generate custom modules. If this is clear, we are good to go to the next episode, which is learning about the components in Angular application, how we can use components inside a module, where they should be placed, what is the um, building about it, and how do we change, what are the details in each component. We will learn everything there. Let's continue this series. Keep up the learning. Don't give up. I'm there to help you out. And if you have any doubts and queries, write to me in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to help you. If you like my work and tutorials, please consider buying me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/arctutorials. Thank you so much. See you in the next episode.